Hello everybody and welcome back to Casual Game Roz as we now move into round 16 of F1 2017 Season 7 Career Mode. Ferrari driver Ben Waterworth at Suzuka. Let's go straight into this. Now, of course, our best result here is technically pole, and our best result in terms of race is technically a win. But of course, we sort of rigged that last year to make that happen. So on track, sort of without the assistance of reducing the difficulties, our best qualifying 14th, which you have to go all the way back to Season 2 of F1 2016. And our best race finish was 10th, which you have to go back to Season 5 of F1 2017. So that's without assisting ourselves in the performance of the result, which of course we did last year to help us out getting out of Toro Rosso finally. And obviously this is a circuit that is probably our weakest in the second half of the calendar, I have to say, is Suzuka. So it'll be interesting to see how we can do here in a Ferrari after some very disappointing results in the last 5 races. No wins, 2 seconds and 2 retirements, and of course that what was it, 18th in Malaysia. So we need a good result here as we've fallen quite significantly back in our championship hunt from this man in front of us, Sebastian Vettel. And we need to find something special moving forward. I think we're 41 points behind in the championship from memory. We set the the fastest second sector time of anyone there. Can that close us in towards the front row, which they want us to be in 4th? We're in 5th at the moment. Can we sneak through into the top 4? We can't. 5th. By 1 spot, Jeff. Guess that's our highest grid place without assistance, but we know it's going to be a little bit of a tricky dicky. We are 41 points, aren't we? 43 points. Yikes, 5 rounds to go, 43 points, and we're actually in 3rd place now too. So, yeah. Anyway, alright, let's look forward towards race day as we move forward into race day. I'm going to do that now. So we need to stay out of trouble in these first few corners. And we need a very strong result here. But I'm not too confident heading into that first corner, because this is a tricky little section here in Malaysia. Japan, excuse me. Last 4 Grand Prix, I think we can win. But it's not going to be enough unless we can somehow find a way past Vettel. And now Hamilton, obviously, who is kicking our butt in the rivalry, has come into play here. So, yeah. Our rivalry, our section in the green goes down. We're going to try a race. That's a positive. Alright, we need something special here in Suzuka. Not feeling too confident about this championship. I think we're going to lose our back-to-back championship aspirations here. And I think this will be the circuit to really end it. 43 points down with 5 rounds remaining. It's not the best best overall feeling, considering that if we were to win every race and Vettel's second, you're only going to gain 32 points. So Vettel would win. Simple. Alrighty. Vettel got pole again, so Ferrari again still on pole in every single Grand Prix this season. We've got a Red Bull ahead of us, so we're just going to keep that in standard mode. We are starting in Suzuka. We're not going to do the chop. We saw what that did to us in Malaysia, and we are getting swamped at the beginning of this Grand Prix. Whoa, as a racy Force India comes out of nowhere there. Perez just dive bombing through. Great move there by the Mexican. Whoa, and we're going to back out of that one, otherwise we look like we're going to damage our front wing as we just get ahead of him. Whew, had to hold on to that one there. Massa 2, great start for the Williams driver as we can try and make up some ground heading up here towards the hairpin. It's always a good overtaking spot for us on this game. To maintain this gap here to Bottas, to Massa, excuse me. We're going to put it up into rich mode. Dive bomb here. No, 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 no! Oh! We get a damage to the front wing and a penalty. Worst possible situation there. That is not what we needed. And that is going to affect us. Suzuka is definitely not a circuit you want to have front wing damage at, and we have it. Oh, that hurts. And that is our championship, I feel. I feel our championship is all but shot now. Again, damage could have been recoverable. But again, it's a penalty that is really going to cost us, because even if we can get ahead of this train in front of us, I don't think we're going to have the ability to pull out the 2-second gap needed. Well, Hamilton leads, which I guess is a slight positive in terms of the Vettel situation. But of course, with Hamilton now coming into play in terms of this championship, it's not completely ideal. It'd be very ideal if we could have what happened last year at this Grand Prix when they had that concertina effect with that train. It'd be nice if Vettel and Hamilton could have a little coming together at some point. And then that way, that really would be damage limitation done perfectly. Because at this point, with our 2-second penalty and the fact that we're not going to gain on this group, we really are going to struggle to get any points here at all. Particularly with that amount of cars behind us. I have to put it back into standard mode too. There's no way I can maintain that in rich mode. The one positive, we finish this race, we should cross the 1200 point R&D point barrier, which will allow us to put in an upgrade, which I don't know if we'll get in time for the end of this season. But just such a disastrous Grand Prix. Once again, this is going back to our days, pre-flashback days, when we would just always bin a race with front wing damage, and that would be ultimately what cost us. Ferrari handles a little bit better with front wing damage than the Toro Rosso did, but still, our championship has just gone to hell in a high basket. And you've also got to look at those 2 Grand Prix, those 2 wins that I threw away in Hungary and Belgium. What could have been there? That would have been 16 extra points, so I would have only been 27 behind, as opposed to being 43. But as we've said before here on Casual Gamer Oz, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. And after just a dominating year, I mean, it's interesting to think that, oh, we've pushed it wide again. No, that's not good. We've had more of a dominating year this year than last year. More of a consistent year, and yet I guess the championship contenders were just a little bit more racier this year, weren't they? So we should hopefully win the Constructors' Championship, though. That's something that haven't quite achieved previously. So that should be one positive. And I think there'll be Ferrari winning the Constructors every single year on F1 2017, funnily enough. I don't think they've actually lost it on F1 2017 from memory. And obviously we lost those 2 places there, so I reckon we're going to struggle to even get points here at this rate with our penalty. No point pitting, because at least we can risk this and try and hold on to maybe a point. But see the train there behind us, I think we're going to be in about 13th or 14th with that 2-second penalty applied, because it's about a 2-second gap at the moment between those cars behind us. So I rightfully get a corner cutting warning there. That was a little bit sneaky on my behalf. Whoa. To back out of that one. Vettel goes fastest. And we will cross the line now with 1.6 second gap between us and Massa. We are going to need an utter miracle in the last 4 Grand Prix. There's no question about what we have to do in those last 4 races. We have to win, and we have to hope that Vettel, in particular, has 4 rubbish races, and that Hamilton, too, can have a couple of rubbish races in there as well. We've just got to end the season with 100 points to our name and just hope for the best behind us. Well, because at this rate, if we don't get any points, Vettel gets second. He'll move to 61 points clear of us. He's 2 and a bit wins clear with 4 rounds remaining. An almost unsustainable lead. Might have to get creative with our start line tactics, but again, we've seen what happens with the chop. So I don't think we can even manage to do that. We'll just have to push him wide in a corner or something like that if we can. Anyway, there's a risk involved in that though too, of course, with no flashbacks. I'm going to wake this up to rich mode. We've got 0.82 of a tank of fuel left, so We can at least try our darndest here through 130R. And a bit of speed there as we come through to start our final lap of the Japanese Grand Prix. Which once again has been ruined by a first lap front wing damage. And once again, we will find ourselves a little bit ragged and getting ourselves a result which really we should be a lot better. And the race really that is going to make our championship. And as much as Malaysia hurt us, I think this one's going to hurt us a little bit more, because we always knew this was going to be a make or break. We perform well here in a place that we don't generally do too well at. Then opportunities were open, but we're going to find ourselves a good 60 odd points behind Vettel now, and probably about 50 odd points behind Hamilton with 4 rounds remaining. And it is going to need an absolute miracle for us to win back-to-back World Championships. We should be solidified in the top 3, and we should get the Constructors, but not where we want to be, of course, in our first season in red. But I guess slight good news is the fact that Hamilton will win and not Vettel. So that's one positive we can take from this. Now I've really got to stretch the legs here in terms of the speed over Verstappen, and we've really got to hold on to this into 130R. We've really got to hold on to this. We just do. We're going to make sure this is nice and clean, this final chicane. I'm going to get a penalty for that, aren't I? Oh, well, they're going to give me a penalty for cutting a corner because I already got a warning. Now, can I get a 2-second gap over anyone behind us? We cross the line. 9th. I got 9th. Oh, we get 2 points. Shut the fuck up, Jeff. Shut the fuck up. It's been this helmet, hasn't it? Since I've changed the colours on my helmet, I haven't done well. I haven't won a race since I've changed the colours of this helmet. So, there you go. Maybe that's what we've got to look at. Yeah, fuck off. Alright, so we just managed to get a few points. That's good enough there that we can salvage a few. Standings, though, 59 points back now off Vettel. And 43 off Hamilton. So, yeah. Constructors, Mercedes are actually a lot closer than it seems. Just going to see the replay here off the start at least. You can see me there, and you're going to see a very racy Force India go around me here as well. Look at that. Zoom. Thank you very much. Good start there. I'm going to pull that position back, though. Helmet is actually looking quite nice there, isn't it? As I just bang wheels with him. Just bang wheels with him again. Push myself, bang wheels again with him there. Big time. 3rd time around. Surprised that didn't give me a penalty, to be completely honest. And then I find myself through this section up here. It's a hairpin where I'll damage my front wing, which of course is the most disappointing aspect of this. So we come up to that point now. I had a great run on the back of Massa, and I get a great run ever. I just outbrake myself to that. Look at this. Way too late. And I'm turning, and I just a clip there. If I had have made that stick, oh, that would have been perfect. Anyway. Alright, so we know we're going to take a hit here in the green zone of our career mode, of course. It is our best finish in Japan outside of rigging it, so some consolation there. We've never actually won the US Grand Prix, funnily enough. Going into that, our best qualifying 8th, and our best finish there is actually 3rd. So, and we've achieved that twice. Alright, we're going to have to put an upgrade on, so there's a positive there, folks. We lose our rivalry, fair enough. We drop down a little bit more in the green. Cool. Oh, here's Jonathan. Yeah, we don't want to do this. We're going to end this now. You're going to see Jonathan. We're going to put an upgrade on the car, and we'll update you about how that goes, of course, when we head into the US. But like, subscribe, comment here on Casual Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. We'll speak to you next time. Good night.